Maybe now something will actually decide to work. Because theoretically this thing says I'm streaming. Now something will actually decide to work. Alright, I think we're up and running. So, hello again, and welcome to Little Green Men, my Kerbal Space Program stream. So, today, we are going to continue with our mission to Niven, the next planet in from Gale. It's basically like if you took Duna, made it a little bit bigger, and put it where Eve is. That's Niven. So, yesterday, I launched the Niven Explorer. Notice it's on a hyperbolic escape trajectory. So, vessel information, let's see what we got here. 362 tons, 10,470 something meters per second. And it's got the crew on board. Jeb, Bob, Bill, and Val. Excuse me. So, let's fly this and see what happens. So, the key today is to get this to Niven, get it into a stable orbit, and then basically land on the ground. I got a bunch of science equipment shoved into my lander. It makes the thing weigh about a ton heavier than it needs to, but I think it'll be worth it based on what I get to put there. So, here's our ship here. This is the remains of our injection stage. This thing here is the undersized signals intelligence satellite, which is both a very long-range antenna and a science part from D-Magic. I also got a bunch of solar panels, batteries, relay antennas, science containers, and then this is my lander here with this nice heat shield up on front that should allow me to do some aerobraking. So, before I do anything, let's just check. Okay, nothing sketchy here. I'm going to time warp ahead now until I get into in-space high. And then I'm just going to see if I need anything science-wise. Okay, don't need that. Alright, we're good. So let's watch Gale recede into the distance. How's my electricity doing? Not too bad, alright. You can see Iota and SETI receding into the distance. Now, the sphere of influence for this is actually quite large. We're still inside of Iota's orbit. So let's crank her. We passed Iota, we passed SETI, and we should escape. There we go. Now, we are now in solar orbit. So, I'm going to keep all this data, and I'm going to shove it into the science container. Alright, yep. Basically, everything you can think of I just shoved in here. One last thing is my Science Junior and Mystery Goo. So, Mr. Bob Kerman. Oh, forgot about that. Let's keep that, collect data. This is a rather large ship, so everything should be fairly stable. Alright, quick save now that we got all that. This should be something for, something for doing something in solar orbit. I'm slowly losing delta V off this stage here because it's a cryogenic liquid hydrogen stage, but no one needs that. So, the question is, how close am I going to get to Niven? 10,000 kilometers. So, for now, I actually want to pass at about that distance. Because I need to get into a polar orbit, and any fine corrections I'll do later on. So, let's see now. How long does it take to get to Niven? It shouldn't be too bad. It should be a few months. See if we can see the planet approaching. There you can see Gale, Iota, and Seti receding into the distance. So Niven should be... Ah, that's probably it there. Well, we have arrived at Niven. That's weird. Where did it go? Oh well, I'm going to keep all my data. And I'm going to store it all, for obvious reasons. Now, see if I can spot Niven. Yeah, I'm going to need a better antenna at some point. And I'm almost in a polar orbit already. That's good. So, first, I'm going to change my inclination to 90 degrees. Because I want to get a complete biome scan of this planet. So let's just see if I can use what's left of this heavy cryogenic stage in order to get the dirty work done, so to speak. So that should basically help me get everything working. Ah, okay, there's Niven. I know what's going on now. The dang thing is new. Basically, I can't see the planet because I'm basically directly behind it from the direction of the sun. Alright, this thing turns like a glacier, so... Whoa, that's loud. 1 minute on my end. Alright. Now, how much delta V will it take to circularize at this parapsis? Yeah, too much. So, I'm going to need to do an aero brake. So, I'm going to set parapsis right now to just outside the atmosphere, so 100 kilometers. Give it 30 seconds to work, and yeah, that won't take much fuel. So now what I can do is I'll just close an orbit at parapsis, then I'll lower at the high apoapse, I'll lower my parapsis down slightly into the atmosphere. That way what I can do is slowly bleed off speed in the very uppermost atmosphere. And I really don't care if this stupid Signet thing burns off after, because I'm going to have it finished anyway. And I have relay antennas which actually do a better job of communicating than that thing. That thing isn't really an antenna meant for direct communication, it's a science piece. I also want to get rid of these annoying tanks here because it makes my rocket handle like a wallowing rhinoceros or something. So, almost out. And go Skipper. And we are almost there. When in doubt, more boosters. And is my parapsis legit? Yes, alright. So a quick save before something explodes. And now, I don't think I'll be able to match that orbit there precisely, but I'll see how much fuel I got left after ditching my lander. That's the key, right? Because the lander is actually what has most of the fuel here. So I want to be a little bit farther out. Well, actually, first, let's collect some in-space high data. Bob, you're up. Alright, EVA report for in-space high. Let's see what these sketchy materials have to say. They're glowing again. My god, what did they put in there? Glow-in-the-dark rocks or something? The mystery goo is probably gooey and mysterious, but it usually is, so that's not really anything surprising. Alright. Now, let's just time warp till we're a bit closer to the planet. Huh. We're only 15 hours from Parapsis. We must have a lot of speed. Yes, we do. I must not have done an optimal transfer, but... Alright, well here's the signal's intelligence. So I'll store that in Lay Science Container. I'm going to turn this to retrograde for shits and giggles. And now, do I still get electricity? Yes, okay, wait, what the heck is going on here? Okay, the reaction wheels must just use a lot of power, and that's all. Alright, so we are approaching Niven. From the dark side. So once I get to about 1,000 kilometers, I'm going to slow down warp and collect some science data. Yep, in space low. And now some of these are biome specific, some of them aren't. So let's start the radar scan. Let's deploy whatever the heck this thing is. It looks like I forgot to extend a couple solar panels. Let's start resource scanning because the thing better be good for something. And where is my multispectral scanner? I know I put one on this thing. And I'll do a mineral scan too for shits and giggles. Yeah, I think I already have that. Yep, okay, I already got all that stuff. So, time for Mr. Bob. You are up again. Okay, we're over the upper plains. Had to remember that at some point, and we just switched biomes. But no, that's not really a concern right now because I'll just store that and then get the other one. Yep. I still have a little bit of time before I hit Parapsis, so I can collect this data, and then I can set myself up to close an orbit and then begin aerobraking. I don't want to aerobrake at hyperbolic if I can avoid it, because that's ridiculous. Well, it's not that ridiculous, but my ship might blow up. I also think that the Signant will probably rip off as soon as I get in the atmosphere. So, I want to get Signant from the northern hemisphere if possible before any shenanigans. So, perhaps this is at 100 kilometers. The atmosphere should go to 75. And look, there's a dry lake bed. There used to be lakes on this, but Galileo and Ohio Bob took another look at the conditions here and figured out that liquid water wouldn't be able to survive on the surface. It's just too hot and there's not enough atmosphere. Alright. I'm pretty sure I just got both of those, but whatever floats your boat. Alright. So my goal here is to purely close an orbit. Nothing else. I don't really care where I end up or what is going on. It'll probably take most of my Delta V to do it, actually, but that's fine. Oh yeah, I should get this recon scan, too, from the Southern Hemisphere, because I think D-Magic wants that. So, eccentricity is just dropping below 2. Yeah, I'm going to speed this up a bit. Varicose? What the heck is that? That's either a crazy-ass bug. Okay, I've already got it. 1.8. Yeah, this stage here is specifically designed to get me in the Niven orbit. Nothing else. I kind of Ziegler-Nichols the actual design criteria, but I'm hoping I can be forgiven for that, considering what was actually going on. Alright, I'm past Parapsis. Yeah, I should have enough Delta V to get into a reasonable orbit. Once my eccentricity drops to about 0.95, I'll probably have an apoapsis low enough to do what I want to do here. I want to land near one of the poles anyway. Alright, that should be good. Yep. So first, let's get to the Northern Hemisphere, so I can get that other Signant data. Alright, there's the Northern Hemisphere data. Nice, I get money. And can I get a recon scan from here? Yes, nice. So now this should be basically all I need for the D-Magic crap. So now, not quite sure how the heck I'm going to match that orbit. Oh well, let's get to the apoapsis before I do anything. Well, actually, I'll have enough fuel to do that once I ditch my lander, because I have 4,000 meters per second on my next stage. And some floating point air. What? Oh, that must have been my dead stages. Alright. So, set this to retrograde. And now I think I want my parapsis to be at about 65 kilometers to start, because I don't want to push it. Alright. Yeah, okay, that should be good. And I'll quick save it here in case I badly fuck something up. So now, let's get back to out here. I'm going to want to point prograde so I can use this heat shield. Now, I shouldn't actually have much thermal trouble. I actually kind of want to get rid of this Signant, too. I don't think I can retract it. No. Because the dang thing blocks solar panels like nothing else. It is literally annoying. What altitude range do I... Okay, 400 and 1500. I'm still a bit too far out to do anything with the in-space low data. So, let's see. I don't know what the in-space low threshold is for this. 1,000 kilometers, maybe? Well, whatever's going on, I already have pretty much all of the science data I can think of from the biomes I have access to. So, I'm going to retract these solar panels so that they don't burn off on me. And then if I run out of electricity, the Kerbals can extend them. It's a benefit to having little green men on your ship. Well, one little green woman, too. I apologize, Valentina. I didn't mean to be misogynistic. Alright. Also, rip John Glenn. If I could get here in a Mercury capsule, I'd probably try. I don't think it would work too well, though. Imagine just one Kerbal just stuck in a Mercury capsule for, like, so far 129 days. Would literally be ridiculous. There's just, like, no purpose to it at all. Now, I'm hoping that I should be able to lower my apoapsis a fair bit at this point. And then I think what I'll do is I'll release the lander once my apoapsis gets around 20 kilometers. That way I can burn back into orbit once I get the other vessel. I want to land down near the poles because it's cooler, it's lower terrain as far as I know. And it's also somewhat less sketchy. Alright, well we're getting close to the atmosphere. Notice our orbital speed is somewhat lower than what you would encounter on Gale. So that'll help us a lot. 765 atmosphere. And the heat shield is doing heat shield stuff. That's a good sign. I should be getting some pretty sick drag from this giant dish here. How's my ablator doing? Whoa, I'm losing ablator way faster than I expected. Oh well. How is this dish still alive? And why is that hot when that's not hot? Like, none of this is making sense. Re-entry physics is just a little bit sketchy here. Oh well. This aerobraking pass should actually be enough to negate my requirement for further burns. Uh-oh, this dish is gone. Good thing I quick saved. Why is this dish not dead? Well, this is not good. I really thought this dish would just rip off. Heh, my lander's over there. I think they're all still alive there, too. Alright. Sorry about that. So, I have a slightly different idea. Okay, so I'm at Apoapsis. I am going to cut this thing loose. Now I'm going to turn this thing back prograde. And for now, I'm just going to burn till my orbit's just clear of the atmosphere. Oh, I got so much extra delta V here that I'll just there we go, 526 kilometers. Now, this little thing, where are the solar panels? Yeah, this will enter the atmosphere, and based on the drag, I'd say 61 is low enough to get this thing into, get it sucked down. Now, quick save it again. And now, let's try. There we go, there's Niven. Yeah, I don't know. I probably already have these, but I'm just gonna collect all this shit anyway. Oh, dang it, I haven't restored the mystery goo. Because I want to collect that in the upper atmosphere. So I'm going to warp to just before atmospheric interface. Alright, let's retract these. SAS to retrograde. And now, Bob, you're up. I'm going to see if I can get EVA from the upper atmosphere plus the mystery goo and the Science Junior before I get too low into the atmosphere and burn up. I'll probably hit the atmosphere like a ton of bricks and have to go in right away, but it's worth a try. Whoa, that was close. Oh well, I got my data. Yeah, I think I need to use that new atmosphere height parameter in Sigma. What the frig? Why is this thing so unstable? Would help if I even knew what the heck just burnt. Oh, I'm going to try and stay as far off the prograde vector as I can. Not quite sure what's burning up either. All I know is that it's not an engine. Oh, it's a Science Junior. Yeah. I'm trying to tumble fast enough so that re-entry heating doesn't really do anything. Because I'm losing a lot of speed here. I'm also almost out of the atmosphere. I'm not actually quite sure what burnt off. I still got all my Delta V. I still got my landing legs, and I still got my most of my parachutes. Oh, it was a battery. That's what blew up. Those are always the first to go, but I got plenty of those. Alright, 1 second now. Yes?
Debbie and Mark are ready to leave. How many minutes?
I'm streaming, so it might be a while.
Oh, I can't drive. I'll be down.
Yeah, we'll give you like 15 minutes,
15 minutes.
so I can land. Alright, I'm going to need to end this as soon as I get on the ground, because I have random other commitments, but that was probably the worst aerobraking re-entry I have ever done in the history of Kerbal Space Program. Oh, why the frig do I have this attached then if it's not doing anything? Okay. So, I still got 2 solar panels, my antenna, my mystery goo, my fluid spectrovariometer. All the important science stuff is actually inside. So, yeah, I don't think I'm in that bad shape. So, yeah, that's how much my orbit got shrunk by that pass there. So this is going to be a bit of an adventure. You know what? I'm going to extend these to try and get some extra drag. I don't really need them anyway. This ship can land on the bottom of these engine tanks. And I think that heat shield might have been, like... Yeah, I think the drag from that might have been actually making things worse. I thought this would be more stable than that, but I guess all the mass up top isn't, so... I'm going to need to redesign this next time to put the heat shield on the front and then attach it from the back. That would probably work better. I was thinking the natural shape of the heat shield would help with that. I'm also going about 1,000 meters per second slower at this point, so I shouldn't have as much trouble with atmospheric heating. And then I got my engine, which can slow me down a bit if I got to. Oh yeah, I'm decelerating fairly quickly at this point. Alright, this is perhaps this. So yeah, it looks like I am going to make it out of the atmosphere this time, but I'd say the pass after this, I'll end up landing somewhere. Well, all three of my Kerbals are still alive, and Valentina is still doing well on this highly eccentric orbit here. So, no harm done, I guess. How's my electricity? Alright, I still got plenty. No communication, but I can fix that once I extend this antenna. Although in all honesty, I don't really need my antenna. Because I can, the Kerbals here can actually do all the hard work on their own. Niven's atmosphere is pretty extended though. Like while it's only 0.1 atmospheres at the surface, it's actually as thick or thicker than Kerbin's a fair way down because of the different scale height. Niven's atmosphere does not get thinner as fast, so there's more air up high relative to what you would expect. Yeah, I think I'm going to end up coming down on this one. I'll probably end up a third of the way around the planet, but I will end up landing on this orbit. The orbital velocity is actually pretty low for a low circular orbit, so I have more than enough delta V here. I might actually be able to rendezvous directly without having to make the other pod do the work. Yep. Alright, so we are now on a landing trajectory. So I'm going to switch over to surface. And if my sink rate gets too high, I'm going to turn on the engines and use them for powered descent. See ya. Yep, so we're making progress here anyway. Normally I worry about things like entry angles and all that, but Niven's a small enough body and my lander is sketchily enough designed that I don't really need to worry about that. I'm also bleeding off speed reasonably fast compared to my sink rate here. And I think I'm above a small lake bed or something. Where am I relative to the planet? No, I'm just below a low patch. Holy shit. Oh well, I'm going slow enough now that I don't need to worry about actual heat. The heating is turned down, I think, at 10 times scale because otherwise, with the system Kerbal Space Program uses, it's designed to make it harder at lower speed, but then at realistic scale it would be ridiculous. Come on, guys. I guess if you're going to go down sideways, you're going to go down sideways. Let's see if I can put a little bit of spin. Because I want to try and evenly distribute re-entry heat and aerodynamic forces. Yeah, my sink rate's 200 meters per second. That's not too bad. 2 G's deceleration. Oh look, my sink rate's decreasing. Basically, I'm running into so much drag now in the atmosphere that... Oh, of course, now it's increasing again. Okay, yeah, it's my angle based on how much lift I'm getting. Yep, so soon I should slow down enough to regain control and be able to land this thing. No, I still got my ladder. That's a good sign. Now, I don't think these parachutes are any good, but I'm going to set these up. Whoa. Deployment altitude 3,000 meters, and copied all of these. Just a little bit of rocket assist to help with this now. Dang it, of course I'm over a patch of high terrain. Well, I don't know how well this is going to work. Whoops. That was actually hilarious. F9. If someone was actually watching that, they could have warned me, but I don't think there's anyone actually watching my live stream right now, so I'm probably going to have to blooper reel this. So, turns out I don't really think there's a point for this heat shield. So I'm going to ditch this heat shield. I'm going to lower my parapsis because why... Yeah, alright. And now I should land on a slightly better spot. And I can do a rocket assist burn. Whoa! Oh, whoops, I forgot my solar panels. Oh, well, I think Bob can fix... No, I think Bill can fix those. So I'm using the engine to slow me down and approach because it turns out I have a lot more delta V than I needed. As in, like, I still have... I'll go till I have about 6,000 meters a second. Because I actually have more than that, but you gotta factor in the staging, right? Basically, as long as there's still stuff in these tanks. That should also slightly change the mass distribution of this thing in my favor. I aim a little higher. I want to slow down my vertical speed as much as possible. Alright, that's about as much as I can do here. Now I want to maximize drag. Now I should have somewhat better luck this time around. Yeah, I still have about 100 seconds left, and I'll slow down to 0 speed before then. I lost one of my no, I didn't lose one of my side parachutes. Or maybe I did. It looks like... No, okay, I'm still fine. Let's see if I can slow down enough to use parachutes. Alright, I've slowed down enough that a rocket-assisted landing should actually work now. And I still have another set of chutes to redeploy. There we go. Hey Jebediah, collect some EVA. Already got that. Now I'm going to need to use a little bit of rocket assist to finalize the touchdown. Hey. No, quick save before something blows up again. Quick save again before something blows up again. Well, we are on Niven. Bill Kerman this time. Alright, I'm gonna turn off auto science because that's bullshit. I'm gonna extend this longer ladder for longer Kerbals. Jump! And why didn't you? I don't know. All right. What's funny is that I probably could have saved the crew that time that I staged away all my landing legs and parachutes. Now, what do you have in your inventory? Okay, you have some fairly important stuff. So, I'm going to leave you here for now. I'm going to go back to the space